Well, hi there. This is Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. Thank you so much for joining me. I think I have my phone right. I hope so. I haven't been here for a while, so thank you for hanging in there with me. We have this is our number 4th grandchild, and she came, oh, that little stinker. She came several weeks early, so it kind of took all of us by surprise. Everyone's doing really well. Was always scary, to have a baby so early, but they are coping really well. So Jeff and I went down and had a great time with our daughter and her husband and our little other granddaughter, who's eagerly waiting to be able to actually hold her new little baby sister. So, thank you for the prayers, for your thoughts, and all of the good wishes during that time. I know I left most of you in the dark about all of that because, of course, my newsletters and all go out early, like a lot early, and I did not think I would be gone at this time. So today I am going to make up for lost time because I really expected to have a whole bunch of these things done online instead of giving you tutorials for these in my newsletter. And that's one of the reasons you need to sign up for my newsletter. I do give free tutorials every week. What I'm doing though is I'm trying to direct you here to me or to YouTube to look at my videos later, so that I don't have to spend quite so much time writing out those. And actually the videos are much better to follow anyway than written tutorials. Sometimes written ones just don't translate all that well. I know, because I followed a bunch of them and they're really hard. And plus you have the human element more where I'm writing and trying to find products to link so that you can shop with me. And sometimes that leads to errors in dimensions. So today, this card is the one I'm doing. I promised I would show it to you a couple of weeks ago. It is a beautiful one, and I am so glad to be able to tell you that the Simply Zinnia suite is still available. So I have that number down here if you want to get it. The paper is absolutely gorgeous. Everything is still available. I don't know for how long, because this, I believe, was an online only thing. But now that I'm thinking about it, why wouldn't it be in the new catalog? We have a new catalog coming out in just a couple of days. And so there's a lot of things for sale. So you're going to want to get in there and get the things that are going to be retiring soon. But I think this is an online item only. And I see somebody watching. If you happen to know, can you comment with me? Is this available in the new catalog, or is this still an online only exclusive? You might know. All right, so today, though, this is one that I just really loved. It's really pretty, but because of the way I cut it, it was going to be like really super hard to, to give you the right dimensions and tell you, yeah, to cut the angle. I'm not going to give you an angle like cut it to, 60-degree angle at, it's just really hard to do that. So we're just going to watch. You can watch and see how I did it. It's super easy. But just on that note, I am using, this is not Melon Mambo, but it is the same color. Now, this one is Melon Mambo. So you can see how closely matched it is, but I actually used a 12 by 12 Melon Mambo to cut this, and I didn't have any left. I used my one last sheet of Melon Mambo for this card. So I just grabbed a scrap piece that's very close from some other very light, flimsy cardstock. This is not quite as sturdy as I would like it to be, but it will work for today's project. So you can see how it is made and folded. But my recommendation would be to use a 12 by 12 piece of Melon Mambo. I hope that color is available, because it might not be. We have new colors coming out in the new catalog, and so that means a lot of colors retire. And I use my old things, so sometimes I don't even realize colors have been gone a couple of years, Catherine, and you're still using them. All right, so I am going to get started. Today I am going to push through several cards. I'm going to stop the video each time so I can start a new one so you can see where the changes are, but I'm going to try to get 3 projects done today. It's going to take me all day to do it, probably. But we are just going to stick for now with Simply Zinnia. This is a really good one. You're going to love it. Thank you for sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you share it and like it and say hello to me. I would like to see who you are. And I do really appreciate all of that support, because all of that just makes me stay on the air. I won't be able to do Facebook Lives if no one ever comments on it because it won't ever get around. And then if it doesn't ever get around, it's like, well, I think I might just go to YouTube and not bother doing this anymore. I am going to try to see. I do like doing Facebook videos because I actually get to interact with you when you comment. And that is something that I don't do on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube, I don't see those interactions, and there usually aren't any because people on Facebook are able to, which is nice. It's partly why I put them there. YouTube, you can just fast forward through the parts you want. Now, I'm going to talk about this sticky note later. But for now, what I would like you to direct your attention to, if I can get it all in my frame. Let me see if I can get it all in there. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this filled with fun in my second card. But for now, here is the Flowering Zinnia Suite number. If you're perplexed about like where in the world can I find this stamp set or this product thing you're talking about, because Stampin' Up! Has made some changes to their website that make it better, but more complicated. So it's harder to find things sometimes because you're looking in only one place, and yet they have online products. Right now we have links to several places to buy things. You've got your online products, you've got your last chance items, and you have the clearance rack. Those are 3 different categories that you can click on. Now you can, if you know the name of what you're looking for, and the stamp set's actually called Simply Zinnia. It's really pretty. So this is not retiring. This is going to be online. I think it's an online exclusive, so that just means it will be available until it's gone. So it can be gone pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure that they went ahead and ordered more paper so that they could keep it available, because it actually is a beautiful suite of all kinds of things. There's ribbon, there's paper, there's embellishments, there's just a lot. There's the folder. I forgot to get the Simply Zinnia folder out, but I do have it handy here. It's just a matter of finding it, because the Simply Zinnia folder is really, really pretty, and I said that, but of course I'm having a hard time finding it, but I will find it. It's just a matter of looking. I wish I had done this ahead of time because I kind of needed to, and why can I not find you? I wonder if I put it with something, because I thought I had everything out. Today I was quite sure I had everything out and ready to go, but of course I can't find the Simply Zinnia folder. Where are you? I will find it. I will. I might have to come back to it as we get started on some other things, because right now we have in the new catalog there are 2 new large folders. Okay, these are really big. There's this circle one that's really cool, and there's this swirl one. So of course I have that one sitting out on top of everything else, just to tempt me to get back to it, because those are really cool. And I cannot find my Zinnia embossing folder, and it's like something I kind of need like right away. So we're going to have to, I guess, just pull out a whole bunch of folders here while I'm searching. Here it is. I knew I would find it if I just pulled out a whole bunch. All right, so here is the Simply Zinnia folder. This one is a 6x6. If you have the mini embossing and cutting machine, you won't be able to use most of our folders. So I would recommend getting the large one so that you can do it. So should we get started so we can get going? Because I've got a lot to do today. All right, so this card is an oversized card. And you can see I just used the paper to cut the zinnias out. And we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how easy it is, because this paper is making it super easy to just cut out. And then I do not even really use a lot of the stamps on here for this particular card. I did on other cards, but for this one I didn't. I started with this, and I just, because it already has this zinnia pattern on it in exactly the colors I wanted, I just embossed this for this textured embossed part underneath. So, and then I used the paper without the embossing there, and then I used the paper, the DSP here, and I cut out those. Okay, so this is a very simple card to put together. An easy beginner, kind of a simple fun fold if you're looking for something like that. This particular die, though, is one that is retired. You need a big one for this one. So I wanted to be able to see I wanted to be able to have the sentiment extending up here. So you could just use a circle. Since it's kind of coming behind, you would not have to have this one. You could just use a large circle. You could use, this is our old Hippo and Friends. This retired several years ago. Any of these would work. I wanted to bring to your attention that this Hippo and Friends is very similar to our Thoughtful Expressions. There's just, Thoughtful Expressions has a lot more. Now this is a die set, though, that is retired. So this, when they retire, sometimes the sets go super fast. So if it says that it is retired and you wanted it, you really need to buy it immediately. Don't wait around, because it's not going, you don't know what everyone likes. So you get it right away. This is another one that retired several years ago, and that's what, oh, that's not what this is. What is this one? I thought it was nested, the nested ones. What is this one? I might have to just substitute another one because I really, oh no, there it is. So this is Nested Essentials. Nested Essentials, okay. Although I'm thinking, this one, I don't really remember what this was. I thought it was something else. This is the die I'm using. I'm calling it Nested Essentials. I'm going to take a little quick sneak peek into our old catalog, because I can't show you the inside of the new one yet. This is our old one. And I'm going to look at our dies really quick and see if Nested Essentials is in the old one, because I just don't really think it is. It seemed to me like it was one that was gone a long time ago. Now with our new catalog, since I can't show you the inside of it yet, there it is, Nested Essentials. That was new, and I'm going to peek all on my own really quick to see if it is in the new one. Does anyone know? If you want to comment for me and tell me, is it in the new catalog? Because I can show you the front, but I can't, and I could show you the back, but I'm not going to, because I would love for you to place an order with me. If you placed an order, then you would be getting a catalog, but your order is going to have to be to cover the cost of shipping and handling, and the cost of my cost of the catalog, and you know what shipping and handling is. I am going to need you to place a $75 or more order to be able to, for me to be able to afford to send you a catalog. But I would be happy to do it. Of course, you could order one all on your own too. You do not need me to send one to you. You can always order a catalog. I'm not seeing the dies. I don't have my new catalog indexed yet, so I haven't gotten super familiar with it enough to be able to actually find the dies quickly. But I'm not seeing it, so I think Nested Essentials is probably one that is retired and might be gone as well. So there you go. But that is what I'm using, is this Nested Essentials. I'm not going to pull it out. I have a habit of losing important dies, so let's not do it. All right, so for this card, let me tell you what I've done. I took a piece of 12 by 12, and I'm going to grab my ruler. I've got rulers like all over the place. So let's grab this one so I can see exactly what width I cut it at. So I cut this one at 6 1/4. Okay, so it's 6 1/4 by 12. And then I put it in my machine, my little trimmer up there, and I scored it at 4 3/8 and 7 3/4. Okay, now that's a little bit odd, so I'm going to turn it over and see if my dimensions are a little better on this side. Not really. So we're going to stick with those. So 6 1/4 by 12, and then score your paper at 4 3, no, 3/8 and 7 3/4. Okay, and then that's going to give you a nice comfortable fold over here. I'm going to set this aside. I don't need this. I want to show you how I cut this angle right here. Okay, we just have a little angle coming. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut your angle from here to here. And for me, what I did is I also cut the angle here this way. You don't have to, but I really wanted, I wanted an angle here and here. So this is just a very slight angle. It's not, I could probably figure out the angle, but I don't want to. I want this to be the same width here, but I want it to angle slightly up and then over. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to angle this bottom piece second. We're going to do the top angle first, and I'm going to come down about, oh, it looks to me like we're going down about 3 inches. So you're going to find, I'm going to go a little shorter than that. Let's go to 2 1/2, maybe 2 3/4. Okay, so right about 2 3/4 down. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, maybe 2 1/2. Let me look again. Yes, I think 2 1/2. So I'm finding my 2 1/2 spot. I'm going to just stick that right there. And then you're going to bring the crease of where your fold is right to your cutting line. And then just cut that off. Okay, so now you've got this angle cut right here. And now we're going to cut this angle up slightly, just a little bit. I don't want any trimmed off this bottom, just here at the top, just a little. And so we're going to trim that like that. And now we have this lovely little angle. My paper's looking a little rough there, so I'm actually going to trim it just a tiny bit more, just to get that rough edge off. As you can see, this is not a science. You can do this however you wish to do, but I kind of got a template going here because this paper I want to cut for the inside, but I don't even really have dimensions to do it with. I could figure the dimensions if I wanted to, but you don't have to. What you can do is just take your paper like this. Let's go on the back side, and we're going to go ahead and just take my scissors. This paper is multi-directional, so you don't have to worry about what direction you're doing it. I am going to just lay this on here like this. Now you could, if you want to be really, really particular, you can use a pencil. Okay, and you're just going to pencil along here and here. And then we're going to go right to here. I'm going to fold this over like here. And then I'm going to drag that there. And now I kind of have, making sure I didn't mark that. Now I'm going to go right over those lines I just cut. I'm going to cut some of it off because obviously I need this whole thing to be a bit shorter than it's going to be anyway. But this will give me my angle that I used for that card. Okay, so this should be a pretty good match to the angle that I've established already by using my actual card that I just cut as my template. Uh-oh, you know what I did? I cut it the wrong way because I actually need this to be here. It's no problem. I've got lots of paper, and so I'm going to just do it again. But this time I'm going to make sure that I use, since this is my template, I am going to just do it like right here, and then that way I won't, in fact, I might even, I wonder if I've got, no, that's too small. I've got it right here. We're going to just go like this. And so that I can get the, oh, I don't want the angle. I almost did it again. I need the angle to be the reverse of what I just did. So I'm going to go like this and pull this down. And then I'm going to use my pencil again, if I can find it. There you are. And we're going to go ahead and just, I'm going to cut it down and make it shorter anyway. So I'm going to just do this. Now this does kind of waste a little bit of your paper. So if you are a paper saver, There are ways that you can do this without wasting your paper, but I just use a lot of paper. I don't really worry about that too much. I end up having so much extra paper because if it's a really good design, I mean a good paper design, I really like it. I'm going to check and make sure that is right in the middle of my track there, because that line was off just a little bit. I can't just line it up there so much. Oops, I just lost my cutting blade. Can you believe my cutting blade flew out? That's so funny. I have extra cutting blades in case I lose one, because I have lost one before. Now, did I do it again? No, I didn't. I got it correct this time. So my angle is fine. I just need to trim it all down. So I'm going to take, we're going to take this bottom, and we're going to cut 1/4 of an inch off, just a little short of that 1/4 of an inch. And now let's check the height. Perfect. And now I just need a little bit off of these edges. But I'm going to go ahead and trim both sides. So I'm going to do 1/8 of an inch off of this side and check it. Let's see if that was enough. And it's close, but not quite. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. Again, this is an angle, so you're just laying it on your cutting tray and lining it up with these lines, because you can't square it off at the top or bottom, because these are angles, so you're not going to be really able to do that. And then that just makes it small enough that you can get this on here with a nice border around the edge for this part of the card. All right, we've got the inside done, and I'm going to save all of my little pieces because we're going to use that. And what else do we have going here? Let's put some, oh boy, I've got new glue. I'm so glad, because when you run out of glue, it's so hard to get that fine bit to go right to the edge. And I'm trying to shake it and get out that last bit. Don't you hate that? So when you're placing your order with a new catalog, make sure you put in glue and all the paper and ink that you want. You want to make sure you get all of the basics. I'm sure Melon Mambo is not available anymore. It's probably one. Is it? Is Melon Mambo still available? Is it one of our colors? It's one of my favorites, so I don't really worry about what's current anymore. I just use what I like. And that's one reason you want to be part of our team. Now, we're going to not have, there's going to be a join special in May. From May 1 to May 30, there is a wonderful join special. And you're going to get a bunch of free items. I'm going to put that out on my page later. I'm not going to put it out until it's actually May. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this same angle, and we're going to do it out of this piece. But before we do that, I really think I'm going to go ahead and trim this for the cover, and we'll emboss it, and we'll put this on. Now, I'd probably rather it be directional. This has the zinnias going up. Once you emboss it, you really can't tell that so much. But because my embossing folder perfectly matches these flowers. These are a little larger, so I shouldn't have said perfectly, because these are the kind of the same flowers. They're just, the embossing folder is a smaller version, so it won't emboss perfectly, but it's close. So what I want to do is make this to match this, okay, as far as dimensions go. So let's see what our DSP will need to be. This is, remember, I said 4 3/8 by 6 1/4. We're going to want to make it 6 then by 4 1. I think we're going to do 4 1/4. It'll make it a little bigger, but that's okay. 4 1/4 by, let's do 6 1/8. So I'm going to write it here so I don't forget. 4 1/4 by 6 1/8 for the front DSP. Okay. All right, so this side is going to be the 4 1/4. Is that correct? I'm going to just double check again because that seems wrong. If we're doing 4 3/8, it's going to make it a little bit wide, but I think we're going to go ahead with it. 4 1/4. I might bring it down 1/16 of an inch eventually, but let's just go with a 4 1/4 for now. And I only need it to be half of this length, so we'll go like that. And then we're going to do this at 6 1/8 this direction. 6 1/8. I'm going to go to 6 1/4 just so that I can get a better feel for this. Yes, we do want it to be 6 1/8. Okay, right there. Now when I emboss it, it is going to shrink it up just a little bit. And we do need that edge on the actual edge to be just a hair bigger. Easier to trim off as you go than to cut too much off in one go. If you cut off too much in one shot and then you regret it, you're stuck. So I've learned to just keep cutting. If you're not going to measure twice and cut once, then at least cut it a little bit on the large side so that it's not such a big deal when you've got to cut it again. So we're going to use the embossing folder this direction because my paper is that way. And you're going to see the paper is going to extend just a little bit, you know, over. I'm going to try to get where the flowers are matching. And then it is going to extend just a little bit out on each side, but I'm not going to worry about that. It'll be fine. And the embossing is going to go through this paper just a tiny bit because it is just lightweight cardstock. Our DSPs are usually lightweight cardstock, and I love that, but in this case, it's going to leave us with a really nice kind of white core effect, because this paper looks like it's cut, you know, although it's the same color all the way through, but it actually has a white core in there, and you're going to see that when you get through. Oops, I did it upside down. It doesn't matter anyway, it still looks pretty good. So you can see that little bit of white core, but it actually looks cool. See how I did it upside down? I might actually have to redo it, and I don't want to. I might do it on this side and just ignore the fact that I did it the wrong way. Or we could try it again. If you try it again, though, it's going to kind of mess it up a little bit, but you can. That's the one thing about embossing. You know, you can iron. This is flimsy, but with regular cardstock, just flatten it out. You can do that with an iron, or even just pushing it through like this. Let's do this. We're going to just push it through. I put the embossing folder right on top. This is going to just kind of press it out. What I've just done, it's going to just press it out flat. I'm going to go back again to get it through, and we're going to do it again the right way instead of the wrong way. And now it's a little bit embossed here, but you can see how it flattened it out nicely. Now this says Stampin' Up. This is the side I actually wanted. So let's try that again. We put the flower kind of where the flowers are, and like right there, and then we want that there. Okay, that's pretty close. Close enough. I'm going to put it this way. Worst case scenario, it looks terrible and I have to cut it and do it again. Big deal. All right, this is why I like card making. You know, when I cut the fabric and try to sew, like sew something, I have to take the seams out. It just messes it all up. But with paper, it's very forgiving. So doesn't that look lovely, even though I had to do it 2 times? It's definitely workable. It's nice and soft now, but I did that. Sweet. We have beautiful weather going out there today, and I cannot believe how nice it is. I was sitting out on the porch, so glad to be back in Missouri. It is so beautiful outside, and normally I would probably be riding my bike today, but instead I am spending my day with you. getting to do some of the favorite things that I love to do. All right, so we have this done. Now, all we need to do is glue this right on there. Okay, and we're actually almost done with this card. This is why I love this sort of thing. You take your DSP and run it through with an embossing folder. Now, did I tell you that that's why you want the Zinnia suite. You want to get the whole Zinnia suite. It comes with the dies. It comes with the stamp set. It comes with this embossing folder, which is called a hybrid embossing folder. Just because it's like a 3D one. It's very deep, very nice. And you get embellishments and you get all kinds of stuff. It is a suite. It's a little more expensive. It's $83. But believe me, you will use all of those things a lot. It's very nice. And this embossing folder is really pretty to ink up. I've seen some people that have inked it and run it through, and it's really pretty. All right, so now we've got that part done. Now what we need to do is this little label. I do need to cut this part too. We need some white paper for that. Do I have any in this stack? I don't see. I thought I had cut it ahead of time. Maybe one of these is. Let's see if it is the same size. That's too small. I'm going to need to cut another piece of white cardstock. So let me grab a piece of white cardstock. Use your Stampin' Up! White cardstock. It's nice and smooth. It's the right weight. It's not the heavy weight. I use this lighter weight one. And we want to do this interior. We're going to cut a piece at 4. And we're going to do it at 4 1/8, I believe, by 6 1/8. Okay, so I'm going to go 4 1/8. And let's see if that's wide enough. Yes, it is. And 6 1/8. I'm not sure if we're going to really do 6 1/8. We'll see. We'll start at that. Save your scraps. Oops, right here. Yep, that's pretty good. I only want a slight melon mambo border, so that's perfect. So we will be stamping on that, and then we will use this. Let's go ahead and cut another piece. I'm going to go ahead and cut it this way. 4 1/4, and then that will leave me 2 nice big scraps to work with, and then we'll do our die with this. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to use my ink to ink out the sentiment, and we've got Melon Mambo right there. And we've got Simply Zinnia. So I'm just using the Sending Flowers, just that part. And then I'm going to do the And Thinking of You inside. And then I'm using the Words Fail to Express My Gratitude and Thanks So Much. So we're using all the sentiments from this one. I'm going to send, I don't know if my daughter's listening, but I was thinking as I was watching our delightful little granddaughter. She's so fun. I had such a good time. These are all the dies that come with this. Now, it's a Zinnia set, but I love that I can make these. I can make these any flower I want. Didn't you know? They're daisies, they're chrysanthemums. You could turn these into coreopsis, helianthus. I could go on and on. There's these petals. Wonderful. All right, so now that I've said all of that, let's grab this long sentiment. Sending Flowers. I was thinking I need to make some thank you cards for my daughter. She does not have the time now to be stamping. I brought her down a whole bunch of little stamping gifts, and I remember when I was her stage of life, I hardly ever had a chance to stamp, and that's one reason I love doing it now when I do have the time. But let's, you know what, I think I'm going to make this easy for myself. If you're trying to just stamp a part of a stamp set. Don't make this too hard for yourself. Just grab a piece of washi tape and cover all of the stamp that you do not want to ink up. So we're doing sending flowers. And let me see if I can see where the end of that, I think that S goes to there. And then we're going to cover up all of the rest of that. Okay, and then I can freely ink it up and remove. And we'll push this down just a little bit because you can see I did the edges there foolishly. So you don't want to do any more than that. Uh-oh, I wonder if oh no, I might have to go. My Simply Chamois has been in here for 3 weeks without any moisture. So I'm Simply Chamois-less right now. Let's see if I have a handy wipe I can use temporarily until I can take the time to go wash out my Simply Chamois and get it all wet and nice to use. Normally I would be using that, but that is like, it is hard as a rock. So don't do what I'm doing. This is just a temporary measure to get things cleaned up a bit. All right, you want to use your Simply Chamois because I don't want any, that actually a handy wipe. That's like a little makeup wipe and I don't really want that on my, I do want the rest of this sentiment though. So let's not put it away because we want the rest of this sentiment here. And I kind of almost forgot about that. So now we're going to cover up the sending flowers part. Okay, with the washi tape. We'll just cover up that little bit. And we will ink up the rest. So this is how it's going to look. We want the "and thinking of you" to be right here. Okay? So let's do that with no mambo. Are you excited about getting a new catalog? Oh boy, it's a good one. I'm really enjoying it. Now I know some people have been complaining about it, but because it's smaller than normal and it's a little different in the way it's set up. But I'm actually really enjoying it. And my team is too. All of the people on my team are really... Oh, did I do it right? Yes. All right, so we're going to do just the "and thinking of you." Like right up here, I want plenty of room for writing. Okay, I did get a little smudge there, but it doesn't matter. We'll just make sure that I cover that with a flower when I stick the flower on. And then we will put the rest of the sentiment. Now, the next time I stamp the sentiments, though, I need to be a little more careful. Now, what you can do if you're having trouble with things showing when you do the edges, you can take your scissors and go closer, but this is such a skinny, narrow one that I would be cautious doing it with this one. Some are easier to do that with. This one is really not necessary, but you can trim this edge a bit. And let me show you what I mean. Just take your scissors and make sure that you are coming close to the words, but not too close. And just trim off some of that rubber, especially the red rubber. The foam part, you don't even need to trim that so much. Just this little red rubber bit. If you can get some of that trimmed off, and this is only necessary if you're finding that when you stamp, you're leaving edges. If you're careful about not pushing your stamp hard into the ink, it really shouldn't do that. But, you know, you get excited and want to get going on things. Now, another thing with these cling stamps, if you're finding that the words are seeming to be a little crooked, here's my grid. I'm going to line this up. The bottom of my stamp's pretty equal to the words. So I'm going to just line up my stamp like that so that it's squared off. And then when I put my block down, I can put my block down where it's nice and squared up. That should help me with placing this a little bit better. All right, so it's inked up. I'm going to put my words right here. Just a light pressure, and there we go. Pretty good. And then I want to add in the thank you so much. I love it. Having all of the sentiments all together, I really like that. I don't usually use all of the sentiments in a stamp set, so this is going to be a nice one. So yes, I am Mary, if you're watching, I'm going to just do a bunch of thank you cards. And by the time I get them to you, you probably won't need them anymore. But I know you and your church people, you will use them. You will use them even if you don't need them anymore for baby things. Thank you so much. And it was nice to be down there with our daughter and her church family because they are a different kind. They are a, what do you call when you have music that's alternative? It's an alternative music sort of thing. It's kind of like an alternative church experience. So it's evangelical and conservative and Bible believers for sure. But it is a little bit different in the way they do things. So they have a very great support group. And it was just really nice to be able to get to know all of them better. All right, so now you're just going to put your glue on here. Like this. We are getting done with this card so quickly. And I'm so glad because I felt really bad when my newsletter email went out, saying, oh, this is kind of a hard one to do with the dimensions, so just watch the video. And then I was out of town and there was no video to watch. I felt really bad about that, so there we go. So now we have the dimensions. I did not write them, but you saw them, so you should know what to do. If you don't, you can just rewind the video and figure it out. Now take your paper that, like me, I probably messed it up some. I'm just going to use the flowers themselves. Let's see. Let's use this one. You don't have to be very careful in how you cut these out. There are dies in this stamp set. You know, there is a die that you could do that would be very close to this, but it's not exactly the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and do some sloppy cutting. And it's not great cutting, but it's not bad. And it's quick. And I don't really want the edge, but I don't mind the edge because we're going to stick that one there. And then we're going to find one that's got like an upturn. I want one that has like this little upturn. Because that's how little flowers are when they're coming out and they kind of put their little faces up to where the sun is. So if they are in partial shade, they're going to be stretching for the sun. And I really wanted this one to be right there, stretching to the sun. When we came home, I was so, oh boy, it was kind of treacherous coming home because I flew to California and then Jeff and I drove back. So if you live in the Midwest or in any of the plains, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you live in the Northeast, you probably know what I'm talking about as far as the tornado and storm scare that we just came through because it was very, very stormy. Now, I want this card to fold flat, so we'll go ahead and just put this. Oh, good. I'm good. We're going to put this right here, just gluing it on flat, but I do want you there. So we're going to put that one right there, right flush up against. So even though it has a straight line there, it looks natural. And then this one right on top and not concealing my words. There we go. Now the inside is done. And now we can work on this side. Now we need that angle again, and I had one, and I kind of screwed it up, didn't I? That's okay. We are good. Now we've got more paper, but I think I might have just enough. Let's see if I do. I don't know. Oh, I don't necessarily want this one anyway, because I could do that, But I forgot, I'm actually using this, and then we're going to cut those flowers into that. Now this is going to be a bit shorter because I do want to use this piece. I don't want to, oh, here we go. I could use this. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We will use this one. All right, so take your zinnia. Make sure your angle is going to be correct. I'm going to just lay this inside here. And I'm going to take my my pencil again. And we're just going to, let's go to the point of it. And I'm going to just draw a line where my angles are. Okay, and then I'm going to just cut these with my scissors this time. And I'm going to cut right here on the inside. I'm kind of just showing you how you can make this a little bit simpler if you want. You can just cut with your scissors kind of on the inside of your line where your angle is. And this one too. We're going to go right to the edge. There. And now let's see if that matched up close enough. It's a little bit long, but it's pretty good. So we're going to live with that. I could use my trimmer and trim the edge off a little bit, but I think we're going to live with this. So now you have your same zinnia pattern that you had here that you embossed on this DSP. I do really like this side too. It's pretty, isn't it? I don't think there was any paper in this Simply Zinnia set that I didn't like. It's all gorgeous, very bright and colorful, so fun for summer, nice for spring when it, you know, it's been, here it was pretty gray for a while. It's very sunny today and nice. That tornado wind, it was pretty strong last night. Thankfully, we did not have a tornado here in Springfield. Usually it doesn't get here, but you never know. The sirens were going. Jeff and I were cowering in there under the stairs. Not really cowering because we have a great faith in God anyway. We know that even if we are killed in a tornado, everything will be just fine. Life will go on for everyone else, and we will be in a better place, right? So we were fine and comfortable, but it's always nice when the sirens end and it says that the news, the alert say that the threat of tornado has passed. Very nice to hear. So anyway, it is, those winds really blew away the clouds. It's bright out there. And because I was gone for so long, all the new bedding areas that I had planted out were pretty weed filled. So I had to get out there and deal with those weeds this morning, and it was so nice to do so. Now I do want to have this much sticking up at the top because I really wanted to use some of my extra cute little bling, you know, and just make this card even more special. So just take your die, whichever one you're using, and save about 1/2 inch of space at the top so that you can do that. And we're gonna cut this out. I'm not even gonna change out my very heavily scarred plates here because I think we can. I'm gonna bend that a little bit. It looks like it's having a hard time grabbing on the way I want it. Line it up so it's nice and squared off there. And I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. I don't need a lot of room at the top, just about 1/2 inch. Oh, maybe that's even 3/4 inch. I don't know. There we go. I think my video is freezing at times. I hope not. Hopefully you're good. We used up all of our broadband, you know, stuff, I'm sure, with our travels. We came home on a Saturday, so our favorite talk show radio hosts we'd already listened to them on the other states that we traveled through earlier in the week. On Saturday, we were having to hunt, Jeff and I, for things on our phone to pick up. So our phone service actually got used considerably, just getting us here. Now you're going to want to put this here, and I'm going to just stick it right there like this, you see.
I don't want it like this because I want to show my pretty flowers there. And I'm going to just put this on, then I'm going to layer flowers on top and my little doodads, and this card is going to be done. Now, if you wanted to have a ribbon to tie this shut, now would be the time to put your ribbon on so you could have a nice little bow on the side. But I wanted all these flowers on it. That's why this card is an oversized one. And I'm going to glue this on because the flowers are going to have some dimension to it, and I actually want this right in the center of the card. So I'm just going to put some glue right here, like this, to get that stuck on good and tight. Right, like that. Okay, so you're just going to make sure everything's squared off really good. Rub that down. And voila, now it's nice and snug. I think that's squared up pretty good. And then all you're going to do is cut out all the flowers you want. And again, you're going to make this easy on yourself. Don't try to kill yourself with being so careful. And if you have scissors like I have all these. Oh, let's see, what have I got here? I've got all these little funky edged scissors. Sometimes those can come into play in a very creative way when you're cutting around things that are different edge, you know. So I'm going to keep the leaves, but I'm not leaving any white border. I'm just cutting around the flower itself. And that's kind of a skinny leaf. I don't know if I needed that. And then I'm going to get my fancy scissors again. And then that way I can kind of just cut. I don't need to work too hard to match up the lines. It does leave some edge, weird edge. But if you're trying to go through this quickly, now most beginners like to get things done quick because it's taking them a long time to go through techniques that for those of us who have been working cards a long time, those things are pretty easy for us to do. But if you're if you're new, it's nice to be able to go quickly through some of these things. So that's why I'm showing you the scissors trick. If you get those scissors, it actually can save you some time when you're cutting out. I could have cut that leaf off. It's probably not going to show anyway. Oh boy. So my roses. Oh, did you see? Did I put it on my page? I don't think I did. I did on my garden page. My clematis. I'm a big gardener. That's why I love these flower cards. I love flowers. That's why I garden, I think, is pretty much. Some people garden because they like the leaves or they like the food. I do not eat much anymore because my stinking old metabolism can't take it. So I don't, and I gave up food stuff a long time ago because frankly, I was the only one eating it. I think we'll do the flowers like that. We're going to do this flower like this. So just position your flowers the way you want on here. And then I'm not going to go through any more of this because I do want to get 2 more cards done today. And I want you to be able to figure this out on your own. So what I did is I took a few of these, and let's see what other ones I've got. I did this one, but I did the whole one. I found it on the paper where it's the complete flower. And let's see what we've got. I just use what I have. So here's this one. I would take this one, and we're going to put that one underneath on the very bottom up here, and then we're going to put these here. I'm going to take that one. I want at least 2 of this color just so that it matches the interior and pulls together this melon mambo. Now melon mambo is in every color, even this one, but it doesn't show as much in this one, so I'm not using those purple ones. I'm just using these dark pink and orange pink and lighter pink flowers and just cutting the leaves with it as much as possible. This is glued right to the label, and then these I used the dimensionals to stick right on. Just make sure you don't put any dimensionals sticking off. You don't want this sticking down. I accidentally put a little bit of dimensional right here. Oh, look, I've got I don't think I intended that. Maybe I did. Maybe I thought, oh, a cute little sequin will look nice there. I don't really know what I did. The other embellishments I've used are, I think, sadly gone. I haven't looked at the clearance rack today, but these were called adhesive backed hearts and flowers. You can see I have hardly any left. I've got just enough of the hearts, though, that I can use. Can I find it? Possibly, possibly. I'm going to grab my, this is not my spatula. Where's my spatula? Do I have it on here? Ah, I do. So here's your pick a tool, and you can just slide these. Now, they're bigger and smaller hearts, so let's use the smaller ones. Okay, so you can use your little spatula and pick that up, and then you can put them right where you want them. It's a little easier than trying to get it off with my my tweezers. I have tweezers I use sometimes, but that actually works a little better. And then you can, I've got sequins, or you might want to use these hearts, and you can put them there. I don't know. I just used my sequins and then found little yellow Mango Melody, or, oh, what's our newest yellow color? We have a nice new yellow color. What is it? I like Mango Melody. I'm still using that one a lot. Our peach pie. We have a peach pie, and that would be perfect in the middle of those sequins too. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed watching that. Again, please like and share my videos. Go to YouTube and like and share those. I don't even know how you do it. I guess you hit subscribe, and then that way you know when I'm doing new things, because this one will go up there, and I have 2 more coming. So if you have been watching my newsletter and wondered where all these tutorials are that I was expecting to do and did not do, they are coming, and I hope that you have a lovely, lovely day, and I will. It is beautiful out there. So I got my weeds taken care of. I have my flowers coming out. It is so nice to have my flowers back. And yes, I got my glasses up there so I can see you. My hair is all messed up. That's typical. And you have a wonderful week. Remember, the new catalog's coming out, so I hope that you take advantage of it. And the Join special is coming. Keep tuned, because it's probably someone else has probably sent it in their newsletter, and I will send out a special newsletter with that information in it, I'm sure, in a day or so. I don't even know what day it is. I'm still kind of just flying by the seat of my pants, trying to catch up with everything that we missed out on, that I wasn't missing out on at all. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.